It's mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. If you don't get your question answered, that's okay, because you can follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. Ask me your Bears questions over there. I will answer as many as I can. Let's go ahead and start with a super chat. Appreciate you, Zach. Alshon, Jeffery, Allen Robinson, fix the line and transition tag Mitch. I mean, you can transition tag Mitch, but no one's gonna bite. No one's gonna bite on a tag for Mitchell Trubisky. You can try, but you're just wasting your time. I don't have that much interest in Alshon Jeffery. I know the Eagles are set to cut him. If you want to sign him to a minimum deal and bring him to camp, that's fine, but I don't have major interest in bringing him back. All right, Tambor The Lambor. I really don't think we will trade for Watson at this point. I'm not sitting here saying I think it's likely, because I don't, but it's greater than 0%, and as long as he's out there, Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, they need to do everything they can to at least try and gauge the possibility of doing that. It's a long shot. Other teams can offer more, but hey, as long as he's out there, I think there's going to be some interest, and we'll see what happens. Jonah Gonzalez, what are the odds that we have a winning season next year? Gosh, I wish I knew who the quarterback was. 50-50, right? 8-8 last year. 17-game schedule kicks in next season, I believe. So it's a perfect question from producer Brett here. We'll go ahead and ask you guys. Over, under 8.5 wins next year. If you get over, it's a winning record. If you go under, it's a losing record. Type O for over, type U for under. I'll be optimistic. I'll say over. I think if this team can get steady quarterback play, they can win 10, maybe 11 games. Let me know what you guys think. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So type O for over or U for under. Got a super chat coming in. The guy in the purple, thanks for the $2. What offensive tackle should we look at? I did take a look at first-round draft targets. I'll probably start doing specific positional breakdowns in the near future. But I think a guy like Samuel Cosmi, Tevin Jenkins, I love Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. I mentioned him in that video, but does he fall to 20? I'm not really sure. If they don't need a quarterback in round 1, I do think offensive tackle is where the Bears should go. Kyle Johnston next up here, hashtag Bears. Could Chicago tag and trade Allen Robinson for a first-round pick and then move up to draft a quarterback? I have seen this idea thrown out there, and could they? Yes. But, and there's always a but with these things, do you really want your rookie quarterback throwing to only Darnell Mooney? That's the question I have. I think that's the challenge the Bears find themselves in, is how do we improve at quarterback while also keeping our number one receiver? Well, I think it's simple. You just re-sign your receiver and then figure out quarterback, even if that means cutting someone else, because you don't let these guys go. You don't let top 5, top 7 NFL wide receivers just hit the market and say, sayonara, we're just gonna move on here. Now, if you tag them and someone offers you a top 15 pick, that's pretty juicy. Like, that's something you at least have to consider at that point. And, maybe you draft a receiver in the second round if you're able to do something like that. Obviously, I think the only scenario you trade Robinson is because you're making a move for one of these guys. Obviously not Trevor Lawrence. He's going number 1. But maybe Justin Fields slides a few spots and he, is sitting there at number 6 and you can move up with Philadelphia or something like that. Who knows? We'll see. I think you should consider every avenue if you're Chicago. I'm still team sign AR. You guys know that. But if you don't think you can get a quarterback via trade or free agency that you like, then if you got to tag and trade A-Rob to move up, you at least have to consider it. Would I do it? No. Would I consider it? I guess I'd have to see what his value is. So would you trade Allen Robinson for a first-round pick? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. If it's top 15, top 20, I'll at least consider it. I'm still going to type my N for no overall, but let me know what you guys think. Got a super coming in. B. Ryan Gaming. Any news at Soldier Field? And is the NFL implementing any new rules, or is that are worth mentioning? My expectation is all 32 NFL teams will at least have limited fans. I can't sit here and say with confidence it'll be 100% capacity, but I know Chicago didn't have fans last year. Teams can't afford to do that 2 years in a row. I think we'll see at least 25 to 50%. I don't know if any stadiums will have 100% to start the year. I mean, the season will be here before we know it, but I'd be very surprised if it was 0% at the end of the day. I would guess for now somewhere between 25 and 50, and then hopefully by 2022 it's full go again, but we'll wait and see. Lucas Schmidt, which young stud do you see having the best career out of Mooney, Kmet, and Johnston? I like this question because we do have to give pay some credit. He found some decent players in the middle part of that draft last year. Mooney in the 5th round, great find. Love that pick. Kmet, too early to say. We saw some good things, saw some not so good things. Jalen Johnston, it's all about health with him. He's got a bad shoulder. When he was out there, he was a better cover guy than Kyle Fuller most of the season. I'll go Mooney for now, but I really like Jalen Johnston. I hope he can stay healthy. Dragon King, if Ryan Pace is an idiot, he is, and doesn't tag A-Rob, what do the Bears do with the wide receiver position? And I'll back up. He's not a complete idiot, but he's been an idiot when it comes to Allen Robinson and quarterbacks. Probably draft, right? I mean, maybe you try and go get a Chris Godwin or something like that, or a Chris Davis, or not Chris, Corey Davis, excuse me. Chris Davis, wrong sport. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you turn to. Maybe you draft one if you trade A-Rob. You get that extra first-round pick and draft like a Rashad Bateman. But I think it'd be a bad move. I've been consistent saying that. But Allen Robinson's getting impatient at this point. So you got to figure out something very, very soon. Get subscribed to the channel because the only way to get on these live mailbags or to be a part of these mailbags is to watch us live every Tuesday. Easiest way to know when we're live, subscribe and turn on notifications. You see the link below. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Hit that sub button and turn on that notification bell. We're going live every Tuesday. We got videos every single day covering the latest rumors and news here on Chicago Bears Now. Joel Fernandez, if anyone wants Buster Skrine, should we trade him? Yes. And I don't think anyone will trade for him because, remember, he finished the last 6 games of the season in concussion protocol. Big red flag. If you have a guy with a concussion that lasts more than 2 weeks, that's a bad situation. I haven't heard much of any updates on that. I think he's a cut candidate because he counts over $6 million against the cap. Hell, I'd take a conditional 7th because his cap hit just isn't worth what he gives you on the field. Super chat from It's Goeasy. How do you feel about J.J. Watt joining Chicago? I would love it. I mean, his wife plays pro ball in Chicago. They've been hanging out in Chicago this offseason, just like they did last offseason. I think he would heavily consider it if the Bears' situation was more stable, but you got a head coach on the hot seat, a GM on the hot seat, and an unknown future at quarterback. That's not super appealing for a free agent like J.J. Watt, who's chasing championships at this point in his career. So I'll give it one smoking J on it happening. Can't rule it out, but I don't think it's super likely. Fast Moves 45. Any chance the Bears have called Seattle about Wilson, and what would it take? It's possible they've called. I think this is very unlikely. I know there's chatter, oh, Russell Wilson's unhappy. He wanted to keep Schottenheimer, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Seahawks aren't trading him. And he's not gonna demand a trade. This isn't a Texans situation where it's just a disaster in Seattle. They got to fix a couple of things, but yeah, I would be floored if Seattle traded Russell Wilson. Now, if you missed any of, or if you didn't get your questions in, or if I just didn't answer your question, number one, I apologize. Number two, got more Bears information, and you can ask me your questions on my Twitter page at HGramNFL. So go give me a follow over there. Like I said, if we didn't answer your question, I apologize. We're getting hundreds of them, basically. So follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL and ask me over there. I'll answer as many as I can. A couple more here. Anger management. Can we get an office tour and GM candidates? We do have a new studio at Chicago Bears now, so if that's what you're talking about, yes. I can't give you a tour at Hallis Hall. I don't have the keys yet. Working on it. As far as GM candidates, I did that video, but before they announced they were keeping Ryan Pace, there's really no point in doing it right now because he's going to be the GM through the offseason, at least through some of the games next year. If the Bears start slow next year, yeah, we'll do a GM candidates list. Suha, should we trade for Tua if Deshaun goes to Miami? I think he's in that category of you're not going to get him unless this happens, right? Or unless the Dolphins draft a quarterback at number 3. I do think he would be intriguing. I'd love to see what his value is. Like, would you trade 20 straight up for Tua? I'd probably do that. Take a shot at it. You know, he went top 5. You get him for 20. Yeah, you could do worse. Zachary Hawley, appreciate the $10 super, my man. I think we sign A-Rob, give ourselves another receiver, repair the line. We get Eddie Goldman back on D. I do agree with that. That'll make a big difference. Then run this offense more like the Saints with Mitch at the helm. Let's be honest, Nagy can't do it. Isn't the guy. I Trubisky's not coming back, so let that go. I do think Eddie Goldman will make a difference on defense, stopping the run especially. Quarterback is the ultimate mystery. I would be pretty disappointed and pretty surprised if Trubisky's the guy, but yeah, bring in another receiver as well. I'm cool with that. Continue to beef up this offense. Matt Rivera, what is better? We cut both Leno and Bobby Massey, then draft 2 tackles, or we trade them both for a third or a second or even a late first. You're not getting a first for Charles Leno or Bobby Massey. I think the likely scenario is you cut one and you keep one and then you draft or go get another tackle. You probably can't cut both and replace both. That's just going to be too difficult. I would keep one, slide him to right tackle, then go get a left tackle. That's what I would do. But, Ryan Pace is in charge, which means anything could happen at this point. McSwimley13. How about taking Rodgers or Cam Newton for a season and waiting to see what this year's draft? Aaron Rodgers? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, my God. Cam Newton, I'm not interested in Cam. He was skipping balls to his receivers last year. I know the Patriots' receiving core was brutal, but felt like I was watching Ultimate Frisbee sometimes when he was playing quarterback. He was just skipping that thing. Not interested in Cam and Aaron Rodgers. No chance. Name a random Bears player. Go ahead and light up the comments section. What do you guys think? Name a random Bears player. I had one, and then I forgot his damn name. I wrote it down here somewhere, but go ahead, light up the comments. I'll get some shout-outs as well. Name a random Bears player.